everything on the table.
Absolutely, and the first map is getting ready to start. It's going to be Solar Hardpoint, something Epsilon said that TCM was using against them. They thought that they were going to come out right off the bat and try and get Swanee out of that top glass area. They were just going to throw tons of nades and stuns at him. So you're going to be looking to see if they're going to do that off the break, but it looks like they're not going to be spawning on that side. But you're going to have Moose running the AR for TCM. I want to stay on board with him because he's really going to have to outshine Swanee if they're going to have a chance to win this one.
Well, guys at home, quickly tweet out the stream, hashtag EU Finals and hashtag Call of Duty Championship. Let's get into this game. Josh picking up a two-piece straight away. Moose trying to answer back. Will pick up Josh for the trade. Going to see another one. Glass picks him up as well. This game has started off with two pieces, but it will be Epsilon just in control.
No, Moose has impressed me this event. You know, when we casted him in Orlando a little bit, he had a rough event. Coming into this one, didn't know what to expect at him. Kind of my wild card player for TCM, but he has definitely been proven to really up his game to that Moose we saw in Ghost. I mean, towards champs around Champ Simon Ghost, he was absolutely phenomenal.
You know what? Josh has also been having a fiery tournament. He has looked like one of the strongest Epsilon players without a shadow of a doubt. But Tommy, now we're on board with, has pulled off some ridiculous clutches this weekend. Now going to sit on the hill. It does look like Epsilon will have the spawn for the next rotation.
Tommy picks up a nice two-piece there in the middle, and Tommy's been one of my favorite players to watch the entire weekend. Kind of the in-game leader for this Epsilon team. Just always playing consistent, always making smart plays. Definitely, in hardpoint, you're going to look for him to do a little bit of everything, hang out around the objective, maybe pick up some kills. If Matt Cat or Swan is struggling a little bit, but I think the game mode he's going to excel in as we go through this series is going to be uplink.
One thing you will have to look for here is Josh is Judge Kryptonite, but not there. He just picked up a three-piece, jumped in the hill. TCM will finally gain control. They are down a little bit. It's going to be Jerd holding the spawn. Can he manage to get it? No. Outshot by Mad Cat. Swanee picks up another one going in. They've dropped 3 of TCM, and they are swarming the hill. Mad Cat looking for this kill, not able to convert.
You can tell Mad Cat is feeling it. I mean, he got that kill on Jerd extremely fast, and no hesitation. He was pushing straight towards their spawn, trying to rack up more kills. Mad Cat is hot. He's one of the most dominant players in Call of Duty worldwide. Doesn't matter what region we're talking about. Mad Cat, when he is on fire, there's really nothing you can do about it.
This game is going to be full throttle, full time. TCM now getting onto the point to contest it. They are slipping behind just a little bit. They're going to be looking to set up for this next rotation, and they do need the points to bring it back to equal.
Yeah, TCM, I like the play. They're going to start to rotate early to that back garage, try and control this spawn, but they have to be careful because if Epsilon is able to break this off the start, it's going to spell trouble for them for the rest of this game because then they're going to have to start playing a little bit more for garbage time. You see Tommy with a kill, Swanee with a kill, and Epsilon definitely trying to make their way into this hill. It's really going to be Shane for TCM, the only one in there, and they're going to break that fairly quickly. So that is an absolutely huge play out of Epsilon. If they're able to contain this garage hill for the rest of this time, it's going to be a massive lead in this first hard point.
Right now, Epsilon are holding it down now. Swanee picks
His
up
shot,
a two-piece.
man, is so sick.
This guy is the immovable object. He just doesn't stop shooting and continues to pour pain onto TCM. TCM with a massive behind segment at the moment, 84-24. I didn't think it was going to be this one-sided.
You watch Swanee shoot about, and it just looks different than every other player in the world. I mean, he just shoots lasers, just straight lasers. You never see his gun kind of flinch up, go out of control. He's always keeping it laser-like on that player. It's just incredible to watch.
Well, we're going to look for the rotation here. It will be one player from the Epsilon squad that has got there first, and it's going to be Swanee. Swanee has managed to get in before the rest of the TCM, but instantly taken down. TCM still need good time on this hard point of coming back.
They're going to need a lot of time here, and they're going to need to win the rotation on the second rotation of hills to that garage hard point. That got a really bad start right here. They're going to have to mount a little bit of a comeback, and that starts on this hill. They need to get time here, but you see Epsilon able to break that easily, even though I wasn't a fan of the way they played that rotation. The first person on rotation, Bryce, they need to hit the cut that's the furthest away from the hill.
Yeah.
When you saw Swanee go in the back there, he pretty much let all of TCM really push into the hill. If he would have pushed that furthest distance out, would have got that first kill, traded the second one, then his teammates could have flooded in and taken control.
Well, TCM have managed to get back in here, but heavy pressure, 4 of Epsilon coming through glass, and they are going to just blitz straight through. Not an awful lot TCM can do. Epsilon are looking dominant. I think they're just going to try and put this team to bed.
And Josh having an amazing first rotations of hills. 18-9, 4 caps to his name. And coming into this event, I know me and you talked a little bit just about some of the teams and players. He was kind of my wild card for this Epsilon team. Wasn't sure how he's going to play on this big stage. And he has absolutely showed up. He's played phenomenal this championship Sunday. You can argue, Swanee's had an up and down day. Josh has really stepped up and picked up some of that load.
Josh and Tommy actually have a fantastic record of not losing finals. I think they've won 10 together.
Really?
Yeah. And also, I believe, like I said, Josh has said before, he's Jerd's kryptonite. Jerd just really struggles to beat him.
And I mean, Jerd in the hill right now, trying to do some work for TCM, trying to make that comeback. After having that great series in the last one they just had that semifinals against, so where you figured they would come out, feeling pretty good. They were shooting hot. They looked good, actually. 2 kills right there out of Josh. Massive play. But you'd figure that TCM would come out hotter. They seem really flat in this first game.
They do. I mean, they said that they are in trouble. They could be a 100-point club here, and that will really be a blow to morale if Epsilon can pull it off.
Well, this first game, I mean, if you're Epsilon at this point, you have a very good chance of winning. You're up 100 plus. I mean, you want to just set a pace for the rest of the series. You want to try and blow them out as much as possible because obviously, in between maps, it becomes a lot pretty sad in those booths when you just really demoralize a team like that.
Well, we go on board with Josh at the moment, just going to try and hold in the pool. He's looking towards the glass tunnel. And Epsilon just looks so dominant everywhere. They're forcing TCM now to play for all the scrap time. And once you're in that position, it's so difficult to get out. If you have to wait for a late rotation and fight to the last second, you're always going to be behind.
Right. Getting this far behind on hardpoint really puts you behind the 8 ball because you have to play for pretty much every hill at this point, regardless of whether it's a hill, it's mostly a contest or a money hill. And you have to send players on rotation to get the next hill because you can't afford to give that up as well. So you're pretty much, regarding what Epsilon decides to do, I mean, Epsilon could stack hills and then you're playing 4v2 there. They could rotate 2 or 3 players and then you're playing 3v2 or 4v2 there. So you're always at a disadvantage. It's extremely hard to make a comeback of this proportion in a hardpoint.
It is. It does look like TCM will have the spawn for the rotation when it comes in, but the problem is going to be that they have to keep onto this middle hardpoint to the last second because they are just that far behind.
Right. Every split second, that Epsilon takes just makes it harder and harder for them to come back. It's not like Epsilon needs to take chunks of time on each hill. They can pretty much split the rest of them. They'll be fine. But you're going to have TCM controlling the hill first off the break here. There's Jerd picking up one. Mad Cat's going to be flying in, trying to take out more. You just see the aggression speed of Epsilon, just really TCM having a hard time keeping up.
Jerd's got it, but he's looking the wrong way. As here they've got it. They've got the top spawn, and that's what Epsilon want. They're going to be able to just pour more bodies in and get through that easy route. But TCM are trying to push them out, but they're just not doing it. Looking at the TCM scoreboard here, you can see Gunchi really is struggling.
Yeah, Gun's struggling a little bit. 13 and 29 right now, and that's really, it's going to be a huge difference in this match because you're getting even slaying from everybody on Epsilon. To be honest, I was worried a little bit about Swanee coming into this series. Seemed a little bit tired. They seemed like they spent a lot of energy just getting through yesterday, that they didn't have anything left in the tank for today, but they definitely do after this first hard point. I mean, it just almost looks like they're playing a little bit faster. Their decisions are just more precise than the TCM squad.
Yeah, both teams are just ramping the tempo up. And like you said, Epsilon do seem a bit quicker. Their movement is faster. Their reflexes are just on point. They're snapshotting just there. No hesitation to just drop people.
And I would say this is a huge map for TCM because, obviously we go into an S&D next, and Epsilon has been one of the best S&D teams we've had here throughout the entire weekend, and even online, against all regions. They've been absolutely dominant in that game mode. So going into this, TCM really needed to focus on winning this hard point, and right now that does not look likely.
No, it really doesn't. I mean, Epsilon have really pulled it out of the bag. You've got Josh. When Josh is dropping 34 to 19, and he's got 12 caps, you know this guy is just straight heat.
Yeah, I mean, he's on fire right now, but even so, you don't expect him out of that, put those numbers up on this team. When he is playing that well and you're still getting good production out of the other players, this team can contend with any team in the world.
Well, there you go. I think this is pretty much a foregone conclusion now. It doesn't look like Epsilon are going to take the first map. And you know what? It was a little bit more one-sided than I thought. Jerd there managed to go neutral against the Epsilon onslaught. But the rest of his team will be negative. Gunchi brought it back just a little bit to be only 2 times negative.
Yeah, I mean, Gunjosh, really, he struggled a little bit in this first hard point. I think it's really the speed of the game. I think Jerd, he plays at that freakish snapshot type of speed. The rest of the team really not accustomed to that. TCM, that's why they excel in a game mode like CTF, because it's a little bit of a slower play style. Gunchi's been playing CTF for a very long time. Definitely a game mode that he's accustomed to. To play a speed of hardpoint like this, especially against players that are so aggressive like Tommy and Madcap, forcing so many engagements, it's very difficult to win.
There you go. I think the game has actually slowed down a bit. It looks like Epsilon have just taken their foot off the gas. And they, for good reason, really. This game is all but done. TCM finally going to get some points on the board, trying to just bring it back. I mean, TCM will go right to the end and try to get their heads in the game and keep warm.
If you're TCM, you don't even discuss this map after it's over. Yeah. You kind of just... you throw it away, so to speak, in your mind, and you really focus on that S&D because they're going to need to win that. If they lose that S&D, it's going to be very difficult for them to come back in this series. The thing we see is teams that go up 2-0 in a series, they win 90% of the time. So definitely going to be hard for them to come back. Jerd's just making some fantastic plays. Oh, if he would have just done that, that would have been nasty to Josh. But a little bit too late for this TCM team, as we're going to have Epsilon take this first hard point.
Well, the rotation hit just at the end. Jerd's staying alive. Not 250 quite yet. Jerd putting a few bullets extra in.
I mean, Jerd's had a pretty good game. 40 and 35 in a loss. I mean, it's difficult. You know, you need some slaying power out of the rest of your teammates. Your teammates playing at a little bit of a slower pace, something they're more used to. You're going to need better production out of them. You're going to win this series.
There we go. Epsilon will win in a very confident performance. And they've definitely set a trend here to say to TCM, we're going to take it this year.
Yeah, they definitely look pumped in that booth. You know Swanee is definitely looking to bring this championship home. Same with Tommy. You know, they've kind of had a little bit of a journey at the beginning of Advanced Warfare, both of them, to kind of end up back on Epsilon.
No, it looks like they're going to play a little bit different. Let's go back on with TCM. Jerd's going to be rocking that sniper there. It does see somebody not going to convert, though. And this is going to be, like I said, a counterplay game.
So we see a lot of teams play the way that TCM is playing right now. They're just going to kind of sit back and try and get a pick on a player flanking from Epsilon. But Epsilon, kind of knowing that, obviously we talked about countering of play styles with these two teams, they're going to play so far back, except they have one player looks like he's pushed up directly to the top left over in jungle. Don't know who that player is, but we'll keep our eye on him. It's going to be Tommy.
And now TCM looks like they want to progress. Like I said, who's going to get first blood? I fully imagine once somebody actually gets this, the entire map is going to explode with movement.
Yeah, you usually never see an uncontested plant over here. And Tommy trying to put pressure on the flank. Moose is going to be able to take him out, and that is a huge first blood for TCM. If they're able to win this offensive round, this has ramifications for the entire match. It's going to put them in a great spot to win, and Mad Cat hits an unreal shot on Jerd right there to even it up. That's a huge play.
Shane's gone down well. It's now 2 versus 3. Favor of Epsilon. And Gunchi, if he converted that, it would have been great for his team. He's got his teammate with him, and
He's just shying away. He has a player on the flank, it looks like, and he's going to get taken out, though, and that is a great call by the guys on Epsilon. They're able to hold that defensive side. It looked a little bit like they were going to lose that defensive round, which would have been huge for the rest of the series. It would have put so much pressure on them to match an offensive win. I'm interested to see what Epsilon has planned on offense. I think Tommy's going to come out with something creative here, kind of throw TCM off at the beginning of this game.
Always the leader, Tommy, and you can see the difference in the two booths. Epsilon rapidly talking to each other. Looks almost silent in there. Maybe missing their coach, Swizz.
Yeah, Swizz, the coach of Epsilon for a very long time. Definitely know he's watching at home. So looks like, see what they're going to do on the offensive side. It looks like they're just going to try and go for a standard A push. I kind of figured that maybe they do something mid. It looked like Tommy tried to push mid. It looks like they're going to go straight up the A street instead. Josh knows there's a player above him. He's just going to play passive. Does not know where they're trying to flank from.
Jerd just burst straight across. Wasn't even going to give Mad Cat a split second to hit him. 3 versus 3 now. Epsilon look like they might have a change of tactics.
Looks like they're going to try and wrap, and I like this call. I mean, they know pretty much they're going to have to watch 2 players over watching A. Nobody really watches mid, which is kind of odd on this map. Nobody really watches that mid area, and they're going to have 1 player over on the B site over by jungle. If you can trap that guy by jungle and really just trade this kill, it's an easy site to take, and look at that timing. It's going to be Gunch pushing all the way into the spawn as Epsilon sneaks right by, goes to that B site.
Here we go. This bomb could go down. TCM are looking for them. That has gone down. We're going to see an explosion of action here. Jerd challenging Josh. Josh gets the bullets on, but doesn't manage to drop him. They will see him here. It's going to be counterplay. Both teams slowing down again. They're looking so desperately for these shots.
This is a fairly easy bomb site to hold once you get bombed down. The difficulty is getting in there and actually getting bombed down, but that's a huge first intro kill there by Jerd. Swanee, he's going to pick up Gunch on the outside. Now we have a 2-on-2. It looks like there was 1 player on bomb. He's taken out, and that's an absolutely huge round for Epsilon. It puts all the pressure on TCM to win an offensive side.
Yeah, I mean, they just seem very, very clicking at the moment, Epsilon. You saw Swanee there. He just came in. Very, very easy for him to pick up those kills.
Yeah, it's really odd because you would have said coming in, looking at the series they played the entire weekend, that TCM was the stronger team. They've been rolling through everybody. Epsilon, they've had some close games.
Yeah.
Throughout the series, they've dropped a bunch of maps. But in this series, it looks like the players on Epsilon have really turned up. I think they kind of got excited for this moment, against these players and this team with all the rivalry and history. Definitely think they've turned up in the moment.
Well, we're on board with TCM right now. Maybe being a little bit more aggressive this time around. Gunchi holding fire. Moose pumping grenades down, maybe trying to give his teammates a little bit of thing, but Tommy will take down Jerd. And that was a massive kill for the Epsilon team. And now, second player gone down.
Because now they know the bomb's down over on A. They know they were trying to get bombed down over there. So you pretty much can flood that A site. There's 1 player for Epsilon who's pushed all the way up this street, and he's going to be able to make a play if Shane comes out of yellow. So Shane's trying to trap down here. I don't think he knows it. Maybe he really doesn't know. He doesn't know that player's there. That's Tommy. Tommy's able to pick that player up. They're able to trade the last one. That was a great spot by Tommy. You kind of saw Shane was trapped, didn't know he was trapped. He either came up those yellow steps and got shot from that roof, or if he would have ran around towards that dome area, he would have got taken out in the back by Tommy. So great setup right there from Epsilon.
Yeah, Epsilon just seemed to have this ability to just cover all angles and they baited a trap for them. Tommy, I mean, he could have lost that gunfight, but it would have 100% been traded away.
Absolutely. And then this round becomes even bigger. Epsilon, they really have kind of house money to play with. Up 3-0, you don't expect to win an offensive side. You can kind of throw any strategy at the wall at this point, and it looks like they're rushing players.
Nades.
Yeah, and they're rushing players up the middle towards B. You have one player on the flank. You have him highlighted. That is Tommy. He's trying to make a play. He's actually going to be taken now. You have other players pushing over towards that B site now. Looks like that's the one they're going to try and attack.
Epsilon, TCM really need to convert against Epsilon. Gunchi will outshoot there. Swanee and Josh left though. Swanee will pick up one. Looking for the players swarming in. His teammate will pick up two. Now down to a 2 versus 2. Swanee looking for the players. Going to see Jerd. Ex-teammates for a long time. Who is going to win this gun battle? It doesn't matter. It's a bait and switch. Shane comes round. Josh now in a 1 versus 2.
Perfect teamwork right there out of Shane and Jerd. That bait and switch. Swanee had Jerd dead to rights. Now it's going to be Josh left in a 2v1. You know, that's the perfect teamwork we saw out of Jerd and Shane. They've been playing with each other forever. You'd expect them to make those type of plays.
There you go. This is the difficult scenario, X. If he goes for a plant, he could be vulnerable. And he has got a decent amount of time. He's going to be seen, though, and down he goes. Jerd will get it. And TCM finally able to breathe a sigh of relief as they get a point on the board.
So they're able to get a point on the board, kind of clear the air in the room, lighten everybody's mood a little bit. But
yeah, you see Shane visibly relaxed there.
Right, but looking at it realistically, they're still going to need to counter that offensive win by Epsilon with one of their own. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to win this map. They need to win this offense.
I think the biggest thing about that is TCM maybe feel a little bit of relief that it's a mental game, and they may just be able to be a little bit quicker.
Well, yeah, just to get that first round on the board, it's huge for your mentality. But, I mean, everybody knows how the map plays. That would have been a huge first pick if Shane was able to get it. Everyone knows how the map plays. You pretty much have to either force action up the middle or on a flank and then try and win an offensive side that way. And that first blood by Moose is huge. They need to take advantage of it. They had first blood in the first round as well, and they didn't win that one. So you're going to need to see them actually take that first blood and use it to their advantage.
There we go. Jerd looking for a play. I think he's going to see Swan in the background. He is going to get that on. Moose will get a kill as well. Now a 2 versus 4 for Epsilon. This is looking very promising for TCM here. Now, Jerd frantically moving around. I'll be honest with you, Jerd is starting to make me dizzy with how quick he goes.
He is hunting for these kills. He knows there's a player behind here. He's going to be able to take him out, trade that one, and it looks like TCM able to counter that offensive round. So now things get interesting.
I feel like Jerd's got into predator mode there. He was just moving at the speed of light.
Right. Now things get a little bit more interesting because they counter that offensive round with a win. So now we're about even because now they go back to a defensive round. Now the pressure's back on Epsilon to take another offensive side, which it's extremely difficult to do. You would think this is going to go back to a 3-3 scenario, and we're going to be about even.
Yeah, I think we're going to a 3-3 here. I mean, like I said, there was a difference in the TCM team, and you actually felt it then when you were watching them. Now on board with Mad Cat, he's actually going to play very, very passive here, so I might switch to someone being a bit more aggressive.
You know what I would like to see right here? I would like to see Epsilon kill the player in the back on the A side. That's going to be Shane. If they can take Shane out, instead of just sitting on that A bomb... Shane taking him down. Pick. If they were able to kill Shane right there, I love the push of just going straight through that A street and getting behind because then you kind of flip sides of the map because at that point the defenders are coming towards the attacker spawn. You're going to take the defensive side and you can pretty much play from the favorable spawn.
Matt in a 1 versus 3. TCM on the hunt. This is not a good scenario for him. Doesn't have the bomb. He's going to have to look for it. I think Gunchi's going to see him. He goes for the shots. He is going to pick that one up. Will it be traded away? TCM are putting shots down. Mad Cat's still alive. Not able to turn and burn. And it is all evened up. And suddenly we have a game in our hands.
He stayed alive for way too long. But I could definitely see this coming. 3-3.
Yep.
Definitely TCM evening it up. Now, for the
rest... Jerd is making some serious moves.
No, Jerd's making some serious plays. I mean, even in the hard point, I mean, he was phenomenal. Just couldn't get that win for the team. But now it's going to get down to, who can catch up one more offensive round. When you really look at it, you just need to win one of the next offensive rounds you have. If you're able to do that, you're pretty much solidified this map.
Let's go on board with King Jerd here. He seems to be a very influential factor. Let's see what he can do. He is actually selected. Oh, he could see a player here. I don't know if he was peaked at all. Very, very passive between these two nades coming in. He's going to go challenge. He is going to get taken down by Tommy. Went for the risky move to push him. And just wasn't able to get his gun back out in time.
I don't mind that push alone because it's so difficult to win these rounds on offense on this map that if you have a chance to get a first blood like that, you got to take advantage of it. You know a player's there. You know you can challenge him. You might as well try. And that's going to be a quick defensive round win for Epsilon. Now, going back to offense, something different. It's all we're asking for, Bryce. Something different. You know,
Yeah.
we see them, they tried to go towards A fast. They tried to go towards A slow. Haven't worked. The one round they got, they actually went towards B. They rotated back.
I think they're a little bit worried about. I mean, Tommy's probably going to go for another flank again.
Yeah.
He's been very aggressive with
He's
his
been
pushes.
very aggressive up the middle of the map.
The other issue they're going to have is Swan. They know that if they go down and try to push towards B and Swan's on Overwatch somewhere near that area, they could just lose the round. And I think it's the risk they're not taking.
You got to
risk
risk.
They should.
You got to risk it at
Yeah.
this point. I think you're just trying to get that one win, and it looks like Epsilon, they're going to go over towards that A site, and you see that the opposing team, TCM, they're going to be pretty aggressive down over there, but it's going to be Tommy drawing first blood on Jerd. That's absolutely huge. They're going to try and get bombed down. Shane hiding right around the van. He's going to
Shane
take out
gets a
two
two-piece.
players. Mad Cat's going to even it up, though, taking out Gunch up top. Seeing tons of great individual plays by everyone in this series.
Oh, here we go. 2 versus 2. Mad Cat and Swanee
I like
versus
this
Shane
push.
and Moose. Shane gets one, though. It's going to be traded away. It's now 1 versus 1. Moose versus Mad Cat. They're going to see each other, and Moose will win it. And you can see Mad Cat was disappointed he wasn't able to pick that one up 4-4.
He got heated up in the moment.
Yeah.
After he got that one kill, he had a ton of time. He could have, gone back to that mid cut and kind of got lost on the map, so to speak. Had Moose kind of searching. And I think Mad Cat, in the heat of the moment, really, you get those juices flowing into grand finals match. You kill one, you know where the other player is. You want to hunt him down. He got a little bit too caught up in the moment, tried to challenge that. If he would have went away, kind of changes the entire dynamic.
I don't know whether he was expecting that player to be somewhere else than he was. Maybe he was just trying to move
I'm
away
surprised
from the
Moose
trade.
kind of charged up. He was behind that head glitch. He ran out there open with an assault rifle. Very difficult shot to hit.
Oh, we can see here. Let's go on board with TCM on the attack once again. Epsilon have actually stacked B this time.
So Jerd is trying to plant the bomb on that left-hand side of the truck because you can't be seen from this back rock. And also, you can jump in the back of the attacking spawn, and you can actually see the bomb from that top rock. So you can have a player sit back there and watch it from a distance and call out to the team if there's other people coming.
Oh, here we go, Moose. Just looking, making sure nobody comes through that mid-card. Still, 4 players up from both sides. Epsilon have to make a move. They're going to see one now. Both 2 members of TCM picking up kills. And this is where it gets dangerous for Epsilon. The time is running out. When you do that slow of a push, you start to run out of time. And you can't check every single corner. You have to just go for it. And it is going to be another round to TCM. What a comeback.
Yeah, the TCM mounting a large comeback. It all started with those offensive wins, though, and they get another one here. And you saw the player behind Moose. He was sitting on the back rock watching that bomb. That's a great spot to plant. You can have a player sit underneath that yellow rampway down there and just kind of just lay there. And then he can get the call out if the bomb is being defused and whatnot, and he can come out and challenge. You don't have to play sight.
This is what I thought was a great play. Epsilon, TCM went passive. And Epsilon, there's 2 choices. You either go straight in and try to get it as soon as that bomb goes down, knowing that player will be moving, or you try to pick off a few kills first. Epsilon went for the latter, and the problem was they waited a little bit too long to make their move. However, first blood here for Tommy.
Epsilon's whole offensive game plan relies around Tommy being able to sneak and flank and get those kills. Getting that first blood is huge. They're going to pick up another one. Looks like they're going to be able to win this round. Just phenomenal gun skill out of them. It looked like TCM just tried to get on that fast push. Flanker's going to be killed.
5-5.
5-5, round 11. I love this stuff.
Well, who's going to take this one? It's pretty much anyone's game here. Both teams have won offense and defensive rounds.
These rounds are great because you find out so much about your teammates and who really has it and wants to play in these games and who doesn't. I don't want to say it's easy, but coming into a round of 16 match, a quarterfinal match, there's really not a lot of pressure, and you can you have a clutch situation and it really doesn't get you like a grand finals match. And a lot of players say they're big time players, but this is really where those prime time players show up.
Well, TCM on the offense, they have won these rounds before. Can they do it again? A lot of nades going out here. Sometimes you see teams in this situation just pull off a completely unorthodox tactic. However, bomb down, it will be advantage to TCM. It's now 3 versus 3. Players from both teams are going to close in. I think TCM might go passive again.
What I don't understand here is Epsilon, they're going to flood the site from the front. I think the best way to do it is to go on the flank. I think they have a lot of time to work with. They have 30 seconds left. They shouldn't really rush this. And there's going to be one player on the bomb. I don't think he sees. And Gunchi, he's going to get eyes on it, but haven't seen that kill come in yet. And Josh is going to get a ninja defuse in round 11. You see Mad Cat going crazy in the booth.
Oh, hands in, heads
and
in
Gunchi
hands.
just, that is a tough one to lose. And,
we had to be quiet during that. There was no way I was giving that one away.
No, yeah, I didn't want to say anything, but you look at the ramifications for the rest of the series that round has. To point something out, Tommy's one of the only players the entire weekend that I've seen that when he's carrying the drone, he gets hit, he'll throw the drone, reset his armor, pick her back up. We don't see a lot of players do that this weekend.
Speaking of which, let's jump on with him first. Tommy just walking towards the circle. Then Josh is going to get first blood here. And it does look like Epsilon are moving in hard. And they're going to just drop 3 of TCM. Mad Cat with the drone.
So judging by the kill feed, it looks like Mad Cat's going to be using his sub. So the breakdown for Epsilon's going to be 3 and 1. Not going to run that 2 AR setup on this map. You kind of expected that, but they could have thrown an interesting wrinkle in. You're going to have Tommy just playing so passive with the drone because he has one teammate flanking over on that green flag area. He's going to go for a 1. He has that pass to a teammate. He's going to pass it down, and they're going to get a 2-point score right off the bat. You saw that player flanking all the way from green plat. You were wondering whether he was going to come try and get kills. Tommy advanced the drone himself, but as soon as Tommy saw he was going to get shots fired, passed that drone off. Great play. That's a great use of the pass feature.
Well, it looks like they're going to reset it here at TCM and wait for it. They've actually thrown it. It's actually gone straight into the hands of Swanee. It has bounced off the side. And now Swanee looks like he might end up going short. He's got 2 teammates to block him. They are watching. There's going to be a player here. Swanee, I thought he was going to challenge him. He's now running away. He's going for the reset, but I don't think he got it. And it will be TCM. They're going to get it short. Jerd is now going to dunk this for a 2. And like I said, Swanee, he was desperate to get in the glass, throwing it out.
I saw this earlier in a match I casted, and I saw it online in one of the qualifiers. When you go to throw the drone out and that pane of glass is not broken, it will just damage the pane of glass and come back. A lot of players don't realize that. And Swanee tried to play the drone, threw it off the glass, went right back at him, and it let TCM get an easy score, but Mad Cat answering with a 2-point of their own.
Yeah, that was straight there. Overextension a little bit by TCM. They didn't have anybody in position to really cut back. But now here comes the fight for drone. Moose's Exo is down. He's looking for Josh there. Both teams going for it. I think Epsilon are in a better position than they are. They're going to pick up these kills at the same time. Moose looking for it, trying to put shots down, trying to get rid of that armor. And he's going to keep putting bullets on the Mad Cat, but it's not him with the drone. It's going to be Josh that he's running away, and it's going to be a 1, and it's good.
Great shot there from Josh, and Epsilon just really rolling right now. 5 points. The only one they gave up was just on a mishap by Swanee. You haven't seen TCM get any control of the drone. We talked a little bit about that pregame. We haven't seen anybody on their squad get control of the drone. It looks like they've switched to 2 ARs to try and get more control over drone side of the map.
Shane throwing it there, trying to put it in the enemy territory. He is going to go down as well. Going to be a long reset here. TCM will be setting up, ready to grab it. 5 seconds before they can make any progress to trying to get another point in.
And I like the play. They're going to reset the drone, try and get a little bit more map control, push a little bit further out, and then advance the drone up the map. But as I say that, it's going to be Epsilon in the kill feed, especially Josh having a very nice first game. Only 1-point throw, but still, we've seen so many players miss that 1-point throw this weekend that to convert on that, just to give your team that little extra advantage, it's huge.
Well, there you go. Mad Cat's going to pick it back up. He should be in a position to score here. Is he going for the 2 or the 1? He's going to go for the 2. Won't convert.
They're going to get it.
There. Tommy is there. He needs to pick up Shane. Shane versus Tommy, but Shane will get that kill, and it will now be in his hands. Is he going to go short? I think he is. Looking towards red. 2 blockers. He's got Jerd and Moose with him. Josh already takes down 1, but he's going to have to throw that off. He doesn't want to give it away.
Shane doesn't get that kill. This is a 7-2 game, and that would be a very scary spot for TCM to be in. But it's going to be those gun battles on that right-hand side of your screen. It's going to be Gunchi winning that one versus Tommy. So drone control going to go back to TCM. That's really what this is going to be about. Who can control the drone for longer and the pushes with that drone. But I'm not a fan of the play drone right there. I would have liked to see him try and advance that up the map. They need a score here in this first half.
They really do. I mean, Epsilon just keep pushing them back time and time again. However, Shane will now have control. I don't think anybody's in a position to stop him. There is somebody now from Epsilon who could do it. Mad Cat, but I think TCM are being a bit too cautious.
Obviously, we have the beauty of COD vision, able to see things. He's going to try and stomp with the drone, not able to do so. He did have free run, and Tommy's going to get a beatdown, and he should wrap this one all the way around towards this green plat.
He's trying to play the spawn.
They don't know he's behind. They're going to try and pick him up right here, but he has all the teammates moving over on this green plat. Now it's going to be dangerous. TCM going to need to get that drone, but it's going to be Josh. He's going to play that. Love that play right there. That could have been pretty dangerous for Epsilon.
3 players from each team was stacked up, and both of them, as soon as that ball was reset, they just ran away. They're like, nope, I'm going to go back for drone control. We're not engaging in this gunfight here at green.
Right, you don't really need to focus when the drone is spawned up and it's in its natural reset position. You don't need to focus on green plat or mid biolab. All the gunfights are going to happen over on top purple and top blue. So really going to be focusing mostly on this side of the map where all the action is going to go down.
Gunchi putting shots down. They're going to be looking to try and push through purple here. They're sending in Jerd. Jerd is going to try and get a few kills. He's managed to get 1, and he is going to push it now. This should be a good position for TCM. 10 seconds left. Long-range shots by Jerd. There are Epsilon players in this area. He needs to get this kill for his teammate, We're going to see Gunchi with it. He's going to no! Denied. Shut down and reset. Halftime, 5-2.
That is such an underrated play right there by Josh. A lot of people I don't think really would pick up on it, is that he had the drone carrier coming to his left, another player to his right. He easily could have just challenged that player to his right, but just tried to bait as much time as possible. And put some shots in the drone carrier, keep him at bay. Always seemed like a threat until he had other teammates over there. As soon as other teammates came over to support, they were able to take out both players. But a lot of players in the last 10 seconds would have decided challenge the one guy on the right, then go back for the drone carrier, try and pick it up. But Josh played that so perfect.
For me, this is danger time for TCM. I mean, I think Epsilon
they need a good start to this half. They need a really good start to this half. They need to pick up some kills here and get an easy score. And say that, and Epsilon's going to come out with the first 2 kills of this second half. And they're going to try and run this through purple, but everyone, TCM set up there. It's going to be Tommy with that drone in his hand. He's going to be taken out. They're going to need to try and get that one out of purple and get it over by elbow. That's really the area you want to get that drone.
Swanee staying alive, continuing to put shots down on all the players here, being a nuisance. That ball will now be in the hands of Shane, though. Shane looks like he might go for the reset, or TCM fight for control.
Yeah, they're going to reset the drone. Anytime the drone is kind of thrown on your side of the map, or it's in an odd position, you always want to try and reset it and then force the engagements back towards that drone reset spawn.
Interesting. I'm just looking at where these players are stacking here. Moose has decided to get behind it. He will pick up one, but it's not enough. And it's now going to be in the hands of Madcat. Already got 4 uplinks to his name. And he is going to throw that one away here. I said both teams seem to be just waiting for a good moment of control before they try anything.
And TCM can't really get anything going, as a team. You have Gunchi, who's playing better here in this map, 17 and 14 to start it out. But you need a monster game from Jert, who's only 11 and 16. And then you have Shane struggling a little bit at 8 and 14. And then on the flip side, now talk about it again, that Josh really picking up the slack for any player that kind of struggles on this Epsilon lineup. Madcat not having his strongest game at 9 and 18, but Josh more than making up for it.
There we go. We're on board with Judd here. There hasn't been the drone in anybody's hands for a long time.
It's been a stalemate of the drone.
Yeah.
It's quite odd.
Both teams, like I said, not taking risks. Epsilon don't want to give away their lead, and TCM know they have to make a clean run.
Right, and that's going to be 3 kills for Epsilon. I think TCM took way too long trying to force the issue, and Epsilon, they're going to be able to move that drone up. Gunchi, he's going to be in purple. He's going to take out one. He's going to try and turn around, take out Swanee. But now it's going to open up for Epsilon to be able to run this one into mid-bio. That's a huge kill by Jert, stopping that blocker, not allowing them to get the drone into that mid-bio lab area. You get it into mid-bio lab, it's very dangerous because you're able to toss it for yards into the base. They were able to contest for a 1-point or 2-point play. But Epsilon's going to go for it right now. They're trying to get this one in. And it looks like they're going to get a throw. And it's going to connect on the bounce. Very nice shot there by Josh, connecting on that mid-bio lab throw.
And it just makes TCM's job so much harder. And you can see the EMPs are just flying out from Epsilon. They can't do anything here. Nade rain coming in whenever TCM trying to make a play. Epsilon keeping up the momentum, continuing to slay hard.
Madcat trying to go for 2 melees in a row. He was able to pick up a very nice one in purple, trying to get the guy on top of him. But now all Epsilon has to do is play this pretty smart, and you'd like to see them adjust their classes a little bit. Yeah, he's going to throw that one down rock side, and he's going to pick it up on the other side of elbow. Tommy's going to try and go for a 1-point throw, and it is not going to connect. It looks like the drone actually is not going to go out of bounds. It looks like it's stuck on the back fence. Now it looks like that TCM is going to try and run this down green plat. Everyone on Epsilon is going to have to rotate as fast as possible, and TCM picking up some kills. They might have a chance to get this.
This is a good position for them. He's got to have his teammates block him. There's only 2 Epsilon players there. He's gone for it. No, it's going to drop. TCM were in a position to score, but I think it's been denied. Moose has the ball. He's in burst range. He goes down. Gunchi looking for it. It's going to be reset. No good for TCM. And Epsilon hold on again.
Those are the ones that you really need to convert, and that's those are the plays that TCM, they're going to look back on, and they're going to be kicking themselves about it a little bit. Those are the ones you really need to convert, those 1 or 2-point throws. I think at some point they probably should have decided, we're not in position to get a 2 anymore. Let's just settle for 1. But they really forced the issue on the 2, and I think it's time is dwindling down. They're behind right now. They're in need of scores, but any points is better than no points. They're able to get 1 right there, so it's going to be a 1-possession game.
And TCM are heating up a little bit now. This is a lot better from them. They need to just continue this. They've only got a minute left to tie this game up against Epsilon. One dunk will do it. Shane now fighting through purple, looking for control. 4 TCM members now setting up. They're going against 2 of the Epsilon squad.
These intro kills over on drone side of the map are going to be huge. Someone's going to play like an S&D this last 50 seconds, a little bit slower, and you're going to see Jert. He's going to get control of the drone. He's got one player directly in front of him in the back of blue. He's going to try to get this one through. He's going to get that melee right there on Josh, so he's just going to be waiting for teammates. They're going to go for a 2-point score here, Bryce. They're in a perfect position to get it, and it's Jert. He's going to throw that one in. 30 seconds left. We have a tie game.
We do, but TCM could be in control here. Gunchi has to get these kills. He sees Josh. He puts the stun onto him. Can he get it? His EXO has been reset, continuing to pour bullets down. TCM will have control of the drone area. 19 seconds. They can score here. It's not over yet. Jerd in control.
All they need is one here, Bryce. They're going to try and set for this 1-point throw, but the EXO is knocked offline by that EMP. That is such a clutch opportunity for EMP. Jerd trying to get behind. He's going to take one out. The drone is down. It still is down. The drone is still down. There was one player almost made a play for TCM there as time runs out, but that was a perfectly timed EMPs. Now, me and Ben at home, we've been talking for months, waiting to see when a team was going to use EMPs effectively, and right there, an EMP basically saved Epsilon's lives in this match.
You saw him, and you know what? He was mid-jump, and you see him hit the burst and denied.
As soon as he went to the burst to go get that launch to throw it, he got hit with the EMP, and then he just fell out of midair. That was a huge play by Epsilon.
Well, a lot better from TCM there in the dying minutes. They have managed to push it to overtime. Gunchi has stepped it up, 31-20. Who is going to put this one home first?
I think the way you want to play overtime in uplink is just get as fast a score as possible, regardless of whether 1 or 2 points. And it looks like Gunch, he's going to be in control of that drone. That kill in mid-bio, you see the arrows firing on your map. That's going to be huge. If they're able to pick that one up, TCM, it's going to be an easy opportunity for them to score this. But as I say, that Epsilon's going to pick up 2 kills in the kill feed. It looks like TCM just going to play that one down over by Snow. But Swani's going to pick it up. Let's see how they're going to play it. So it looks like they're going to push this purple side. At this point in time, though, I think Epsilon should really focus on going for 2. If they're able to get a quick 2, they'll be in a very good position to win this. And Jerd trying to make a play, taken out. That's not going to be good. It's a little bit of an overextension. They should be able to get at least a 1-point throw, but there's a player set up for a pass in that base. Looks like Swani trying to get a pass, and he banks it off that
Tommy trying to get it
right there.
Can he get it? I don't think he can.
No,
he can't get the ball.
The drone is falling out of the map, so it's going to get reset, and right there, Swani trying to get that throw off, taken out. That's unfortunate. That would have been a 2-point score if he gets that throw. He did get the throw, but it actually bounced off that green railing when he tried to EXO up.
Gunchi coming through now, looking for these players in purple. He's going to see Madcat. He's looking for the challenge here. Madcat, it's going to be Jerd, though, that comes up behind him. TCM trying to get drone control once again. They are trying to lock this down. They have the ball. Shane will be in control. 2 of Epsilon are down. He's relying on his blockers here. Gunchi, I think he just saw one below him. He's looking for that player.
Yeah, and it looked like that was Swani, and he was able to pick up that kill. They have the drone in mid-bio.
This is a scoring position.
This is a very good scoring position, but
Josh,
if he's able to make it around here, he may be able to run for it, and he's going to get around. Ooh, I would have liked to see him play that all the way through, maybe around by ice by that first hard point. If he's able to get down there, he might be home free.
TCM are not giving up. They're being relentless here, continually taking the ball control. He tried to shoot it through the door, somehow missed, and now Swanee will have control. Epsilon are coming in numbers. He might be able to get this with an easy one. Is he going to shoot? He's going for it. He's got blockers.
He's got blockers.
He's
going to be able to get 2. He's going to get stunned, but he's going to put that 2 in. So we have 2 minutes and 8 seconds on the clock. That is an eternity. There's a lot of time for TCM to make a play. Off the break, you're going to have to see them be a little bit more patient, though. We see time and time again, a team sees that clock come up 2 minutes. They get a little bit too anxious. They try and force the issue right away. They need to just stick to playing their own game.
Every single one of TCM's points in this game has come from Jerd, and they're going to be relying on him to see if he can score once again. However, that ball has not gone in their favor. Tommy will have it. An easy one here will shut this game down. He's in a position. He's going to go.
He's going to try and set up for this throw, and he's going to try and get it off, and he's taken out midair. But this is a dangerous position for that drone to be in. TCM, they're going to try and wrap it around green. Then, once you start to feel the pressure, then throw it out. That would be a nice play. But right there, you see Jerd get a nice melee kill and get control of the drone.
Jerd is away.
He is away. He has one player to
He's
beat.
got 50
And
seconds.
Jerd
He's
is going
gonna
to get
get
this
it
one
in. Jerd
in.
is taking
And
it.
TCM is going to win that
Big plays.
uplink. Monster play out of Jerd. Able to get that melee and
with
just
a
run
hiss.
right away straight
Oh.
to that goal. And that is a very big game for
Every single
TCM.
point has been Jerd's for TCM. Should be a third kill, but he's going to be picked up by Swanee instead. And Epsilon are being the more aggressive team here. They're going pool dominant.
They're being aggressive, but they're using a lot of AR power to get there. And it's going to be difficult. Once they're going to be able to get down poolside, easy, with those ARs. But are they able to get the flag out? That's going to be the question. You see, as it gets into that turtle statue area, those closer range battles, they're not able to do it with that AR dominant setup.
TCM, however, are on the back foot. They might need to just get this wave of kills and start pushing out. And they're the wave of kills. They're now going to be able to get into pool, start being dominant, and look for their own thing here. I mean, if they even get one capture side, if they at least keep it even, I feel like they'll be in a good position.
If they keep it even, that is a huge win going into the second half. Even being down one, I would consider a huge win. Shane being annoying and grabbing that team's flag, that's what Shane is going to be doing on CTF. You're never going to, really, have to worry about your own base. You're always going to have to worry about where Shane is on the map.
Oh, Jerd there looking for it, goes for the boost, not able to quite pick it up. And you see, this is TCM being aggressive now. They're trying to put Epsilon on the back foot, and this is exactly what they need to do. The more they stay pool dominant, and the more they put Epsilon back, the less chance they have of Epsilon actually swarming them.
TCM almost doesn't have to play for a cap. They almost have to just play for base pressure on Epsilon. If they can just keep forcing Epsilon to rotate back to the base, just the kind of thought of potentially giving up a cap, that's a huge win for TCM.
They've just lost the pool spawn, and they are now spawning out. They've got to be very, very careful in this scenario. And they have managed to pick up a few kills here. Looking to pick up Swanee. It's going to be Jerd versus Swanee, both very weak here. This will be a big kill if he can make it. Just there we go. They've managed to clean out pool. They will have a flank. I can only imagine that's Tommy, as he loves to do it. He's going to go down.
But they're able to control that pool side because you saw Swanee was the only one over there for a while. It's taking a very long time for the Epsilon players
Josh is
to
on
rotate.
an 8 streak.
Josh is absolutely crushing, 12-1. But he played that perfect. He waited on that pool side. He picked up kills, didn't push up until his teammates spawned in, rotated over, and went with them.
I just noticed that. I mean, Josh has been absolutely on fire this tournament. He's continuing to do it now, and that's going to cause problems for TCM. Madcat desperately trying to stay alive here. TCM once again now pushing out of pool. They're just trying to keep map control away from Epsilon.
It's great that Josh is on fire right now, but you really need Swanee and Tommy to really step it up.
Yeah.
Even Madcat as well. 4-7 for Madcat and Swanee, 2-7 for Tommy. Just unusual games from those three players. Those are three players you expect to really put up tons of numbers. Three of probably the most well-known, well-established players in the European scene. And as I say, Tommy looks like he's going to be able to get that flag over pool wall. It's actually going to be stopped by Moose. A lot of players like bringing it up top into the attic and then down onto the pool wall. They think it's a little bit harder to shoot that player.
Yeah. You know what? I didn't actually like that play from TCM there. They had one player pushing pool, and then I think Moose actually ended up cutting back, and they completely gave Epsilon free reign to attack it from where they want. And they were lucky to get that shot off to stop that flag pull.
Yeah, TCM, they're doing a great job just applying pressure. We're a minute 40 into the round, and you haven't seen anyone get a flag pull from Epsilon. Epsilon just, they're doing a poor job on this good side, quote unquote, and it's really going to come back to bite them on that bad side. If they don't get a score here, maybe 2 scores, it's going to be very difficult for them to come back from.
There you go, Shane being a nuisance once again. It means Epsilon cannot progress up this map.
That's exactly what I was going to say. You can see on the mini-map, there's 2 arrows that are now forced to stay at the flag just because Shane is in there in lobby. And those are 2 arrows that can't push up and try and make a play for a flag, try and get a cap. So just being that presence of a player in that vicinity causes the opposing team to play completely different.
The one thing I do love here is that they've actually forced Swanee to go back here because Shane keeps extending and keeps putting that pressure on here. Instead of having Swanee actually come forward and maybe try to help break this down, he's forced to go back. He's forced to play a little bit defensive just in case.
And anyone who's ever played CTF knows it's so frustrating to play against a player like Shane. You think you have everybody dead, and you're running the flag down. He just pops out of nowhere, kills one player, returns the flag. And then you're trying to spawn up and see where you should go, and you don't know if he's in your base. You don't know if he's going to overextend. You have no idea how he's going to play. And he may not put up the most kills in a CTF, but he is a player who makes a massive difference in a game. 8-11 only in this first half. But I would say he is kind of the MVP of this first half of CTF. Just his map positioning really changing the way Epsilon had to play this first half.
You know what? I'm going to speak about Grande here. I mean, we said he didn't have a strong first 2 maps, but the last 2 have been really good. Currently on a 5 streak, and he's causing issues. That flag has been pulled, has been dropped, and now it could be Grande who does something here. He's going to see Swanee. Can he outgun him here? He has managed to get it. That flag will now be away, but it will be dropped. Madcat is going to stop that there. With 10 seconds left, I think TCM have done a phenomenal job.
If you are TCM, you are absolutely ecstatic with the way this first half went. You pulled a 0-0 tie. You would have even been okay down 1-0.
Yeah.
But to get a tie, a draw in that first half, that's a huge win for them. They can't give it away, though. They need to win this second half, force that game 5.
Well, here we go. It's all great us saying it. You've got a better side now. You should be able to win. But they've got to do it. They have the difficult job. Epsilon will be clinging on at every opportunity. And it's going to be something for TCM to break down here.
So let's stay on board with a player from TCM off the start, just to see how they're going to play this off the rip. So you're going to have, it's going to be Grande. He's going to go control poolside. They're going to go a little bit different. They're going to put more pressure towards that mid-towels area, and then they're going to cut back into the middle. So they're not going to show players directly on poolside right away. But you see Epsilon call that out, and you know these teams have watched each other play so many times. They know exactly where they're going off the break, and it's a huge opening break win for Epsilon. As you see, they're mounting a comeback at the base. You see 4 players pinching from every position.
TCM getting cave spawn really helping them there. They are very, very defensive. There's a player, though, sneaking. Tommy with the usual flank.
He should wait. He should wait, let his teammates try and pick up some kills in the base. If his teammates can pick up 2 or 3 kills, expect Tommy to pull that flag. And you see Tommy, he's going to pull it right now, and that's going to put a lot of pressure on TCM. Are they going to rotate back, try and get that flag, or are they going to just pull the flag and try and run it right at Tommy? And Tommy doing a good job defending himself, picking that kill on Grande, and he's going to bring it down low, and they're going to set up for a stalemate.
There we go. We're on board. Moose is just being very, very cautious here. This could be a little bit of a stalemate. Shots going down. It's going to be Jerd that makes sure that flag does not get returned. Can he get the second kill against Josh? He can. Tommy will still be live with it. There might be another player to challenge Jerd here. It could be a nightmare scenario. It's going to be Mad Cat. He has 2 to beat to try and get this return.
They have no idea Mad Cat's there. He's not even going to fire any initial shots. He's going to fire some shots into Jerd. He's not able to take him out. Jerd on the run. He's just trying to get away. Moose trying to make a play for the flag, just diving at him with his knife out. And it looks like Jerd, he's going to go down bottom, and they're going to go for the win here. I think they're going to try and, eventually, they're going to need to push Jerd out and try and pick up that kill with Jerd as
Jerd could be in trouble here. He's going to go down. It is going to be a reset, and that should be flag
Swanee's got to run in.
I don't know. He's being cautious. I
think he's waiting for a teammate to get that pool cut off. So you have one teammate over there trying to get that pool cut off, and they do. So Epsilon going to put that one in, and if you're TCM, you got to be kicking yourself a little bit. You had an opportunity there to get one in from the good side, and you kind of gave it away and let Epsilon score on that bad side. Usually we don't see games decided like this, but this is a very different pace of CTF than we're used to seeing. These teams know each other so well. You're going to not see the normal. It's just great counterplay between teams.
Well, on board with Grande now, and this is all for playful for TCM. They didn't give a flag away that last side, and they looked like they had it cleaned up, but Tommy just being a nuisance and continually flanking. Josh here has overextended as well. He has his teammates with him. Both flags will be pulled again. TCM lost this scenario last time round. They need to win it this time.
And TCM has to be worried because you cannot afford to play for that stalemate. They're going to be able to pick up that flag kill, but there's one player in lobby. Who's this player to the right of Jerd? He's going to get some shots, and that's going to be Tommy. He's able to pick up one. Moose able to take Tommy out, but still, Mad Cat doing a nice job keeping that flag alive for Epsilon. It's going to be Shane trying to make a play. He's going to throw out a stun, try and pick up a kill from behind. He's going to be taken out. So now TCM is in a little bit of a pickle. They're going to have to push and get this flag out of a stalemate, but you're not going to do it pushing one by one. You're going to need that flag carrier to push up and be a player who can make an attempt to get the flag, because you obviously can't settle for a stalemate here. You'll lose the game. Tommy with a very nice play. He's going to take one out from behind, and he's going to have a huge gun battle here. He's just going to fire out some nades just to show his presence in lobby. Might have enough time to wait for a teammate, but I love the route. He's trying to go around Rock, not able to make a play, though.
They said massive counterplay from these two teams here. Every second that ticks away is going into Epsilon's favor. It's just ticking away from TCM. Their hopes of coming back into this game, they need to break it.
Well, it seems like Epsilon has just pulled out an extra AR.
Josh!
And that is a huge play from Josh. He's going to wait a little bit, make sure nobody's going to be spawning behind him. His teammate's going to get that return. Jerd trying to get that kill on the flag. He's going to take out Mad Cat. One more player to beat, though.
Take Swanee.
That's going to be Swanee. Swanee, he's going to take out that one player. He's going to try and get that flag run, but it's going to be stopped from behind. Shane's going to get that reset, and it looks like Grande trying to get that flag out. He's going to be taken down as well. Final minute. It's going to be Epsilon up 1-0. TCM needs to make this push. They need to wait and go together. They can't stagger push this.
They have it. Will Epsilon stagger up for one last second and just try to hold them off? Grande coming forward. A lot of TCM, they have gone for it. There will be an overextend by Epsilon at the same time. This is what it comes down to here. Can they force the overtime? And it's going to be a big play. Who is that on the flank already? It's going to be Tommy again.
He just
try
needs to
and
buy
stop them.
time for his teammates. They're trying to get over on that side of the map desperately.
He's
but
going
it's
for
gonna
it.
be
It has been dropped. It's
Epsilon,
been
2
reset
kills
as
right
well.
there, and that is going to get reset. That was an absolutely huge play. I believe that was Swanee and Josh in the opposing team's base. Gunshi, he's going to pull this one out. I'm not a fan of the way that Epsilon is playing this. They tried to rotate back. They didn't really commit to it. Going to have
Not all of
24
them.
seconds left, and it's going to be Tommy. He needs to pull this one out back towards that flag. I think he should just try and challenge this player. He's going to have one in front. He's going to be able to get that one out. And he's got it away. He's going to bring this down low towards the spawners. It's a very nice flag route. Riot Tommy, all he needs to do is hold on to this. It's going to be Moose, really the last chance for TCM.
Moose gets one. He's going to see Tommy there, and he's got players against him. Well, he is outnumbered. He's looking for it. He is going to go down. No players there for the team of TCM, and Epsilon will be the European champions for Mad Cat. It's the second time in as many years. Big plays, tense to the last second. What a final X.
Just an absolutely amazing match. Could have went either way. You saw Josh went absolutely big in that last map, but really, the player for me on that CTF was Tommy. Every time we said somebody from Epsilon needed to make a big play in the base, who was that already on the flank, thinking 2 steps ahead of the opposing team? It was always Tommy there in a position to make that play.
I mean, TCM could continually push through pole, and they did it over and over again. They played the same way they were supposed to, but Tommy kept slipping through the net and kept pushing TCM. How many stalemates were in that game, and how often do you see that even happen?
We see that, quite frequently. When the opposing team, they pull the flag out poolside, and the next person that spawns up doesn't watch the overextension. They rotate it out towards poolside or middle, and they let so many players just flood through that overextension.
Yeah.
Tommy, time and time again, able to sneak by and make a play. And you see TCM, they are not happy with the results.
They know they had it. They knew they did a great job in the first half. They had so much dominance moving through pole. They pulled that flag so many times, and it was just an overextension and a counter pole that stopped them.
Well, you got to think, it's extremely difficult the way they were playing. I mean, that S&T, they mount that comeback, they lose in that round 11. The uplink, they win that at the last second. You know, their emotions are feeling high. And then that CTF, they played that pretty much as good as you could play it. They're just not able to win those gunfights. Tommy, Josh, and Swan.